mixture. And I wrote as I was given. Today, there was a long battle. After crossing through that glorious cross of light, I was taken before him in his height, an awesome cloud. There he spoke to me concerning the battles, saying that he had put the obstacles there and ordained the enemy to come against me in order for me to have a greater victory. And this is a word for me and for all of you watching and not for all of you here. As I heard and as I saw and as I wrote, as I was commanded to write. And as I overcame, I would see how great a victory was possible in him, and also how fully his word was fulfilled. In spite of all the opposition that would rise up against me, he would still fulfill the things concerning me. That which he had ordained would not cease to be until all was fulfilled. He promised that I should be happy and joyful in the things he had ordained. Out of his total certainty of their fulfillment, he had spoken to me of these things. His word came in answer to the deep turbulence and tribulations of heart and fears with which I went to pray. For I had been filled with much attacks, trembling and concerns of moments and all the things happening regarding the thing he has spoken to me about serving him, and also going deeper into nations and confronting certain beasts in 2025. Down upon the earth, I saw a large number of the souls of men gathered together around him. When I first looked, they all appeared to be those who belonged to him. Although he was in their midst, in his cloud, as I often times see him, it seemed, or they were not at all conscious that he was with them. As I continued to look, I saw that all of these did not belong to him. And I was shocked, I was thrilled, because I thought that everyone that was within that cloud belonged to him. Although he was in the midst, in his cloud, as I often, times see him. As I continued to look, I saw that all of these did not belong to him, and that the sons of light were mixed with the sons of darkness. What most struck me was the strange and awful tranquility concerning this mixture. The sons of light were all very content and kindly disposed towards this mixture. The sons of darkness were almost insolent in their tranquility and boisterous dispositions, because they were so mixed, so tranquil. They had appeared almost the same. Deception became so clouding my emotions as I looked, and I began to sense what was happening. Then I saw him send forth from himself a strange, visible substance like a light cloud that flowed out over his own wings. This caused a new light to come into them, and at the same time they began to be filled with anger and increasing hatred towards those who had joined themselves unto them, but who did not belong unto them, unto him, Jesus. Filled with his own hatred of his enemies, they began to desire to destroy them and to separate themselves fully from them. No longer would they be satisfied and content to have those enemies mixed up with them. He spoke to me and said that very shortly, I would see this work of his begin in his churches. For he would cause more and more this anger and hatred to fill his own ones concerning those who had joined and mixed among them, but who were not his. No longer will he permit this mixture. Then I saw the two groups separate violently, for they were no longer tranquil but angry. As all the sons of light joined together, they were so much brilliant and filled with his light. So this is the vision I saw. For the Lord said the hour of separation has begun. That season of uniting the body has come. In a great house there are vessels of honor, vessels of dishonor. For thus says the Lord, the season to dishonor the false vessels in the great house has come. It may not make sense to you right now, but that's okay. It is the word of the Lord. It has gone out. Not my word. It is his word. Season to honor genuine men of God, genuine preachers, genuine sons of God, genuine children of God have come. Your faith will pay off. All your hard work in the Lord will pay off. For thus says the Lord, the moment and season of separation has begun. As the Lord took me into the Spirit, he said, Hear me carefully. I just have, you see, when the Lord speaks expressly, I love to write. He said, right. He said, fear not. He said, fear not. I have prepared thee for the battle. Adding that the battles that he prepared for his people are not for the purpose of defeat or for their destruction, but rather they were to cause them to draw near unto him. For the void that I have placed in you, the hunger was not necessarily that you are not fed or that you are deserted or because I've rejected you. No, he said that hunger was because I have plenteous food to feed you. I am the water that filleth your void. And I heard further, then taking me into his lovely presence as I moved in that height where he ever dwells, in the glorious and glory of his cloud of fire. He told me to look. As I looked, I saw far below the forces of the enemy like frightening shadows. As I perceived and as I saw, literally in the spirit, shadows of darkness, like immense mountains, shadows of mountains of darkness, like mountains all over. So I looked. Furthermore, they were attacking God's people, his own ones, whom I saw like lovely lights filled with glorious life. These shadows were battling against those lights, trying to cover them, put them out and destroy them in their fury. Then suddenly those living lights who loved him and were loved by him rose up in an anger and fury and great strength against those horrible shadows. As they were stamped, flattening them under their feet, they were drawing nearer unto him. These battles and victories were effectively lifting them nearer unto Jesus. So when I looked at the vision, I perceived at the battle of the end time, it's the battle against the hosts of hell and the forces of darkness that have hindered our drawing closer to him and beholding him as he is. For this is not for the babies, it's just for the mature in the spirit. They can comprehend exactly what this vision is. The Lord said, when I permit the enemy to attack my own loved ones, he said to me, I never take any risks of any kind at any time, for the enemy can never win the battle against them. If you are Christ's, if you belong to him, if you've loved me, if you've loved him, no amount of battles from the devil will never defeat you. So taking me away into the spirit, and greatly as I gently receiving instruction from him, he spoke away all my concerns and burdens, causing his love to wash over me in a great pillows of gentle sweetness of his immeasurable presence and love. What I have given you, none can take it away from you, he said to me. For I have given it to you, and I am with you, he said. When he obeyed me, he said, look, and I saw a large group of people, so troubled, so desolate, sorrowful, broken. Upon seeing the narrow and troubled state of these people, I felt a great sadness, for I saw that they were disoriented. They were also his people, God's people. And when he spoke, he said and told me not to be sad for them, explaining that they were in great sorrow, not because he had left them, but because they desired to be in that condition. He said they had despised and ridiculed and forsaken that which he had given them, not ever desiring to receive it. Therefore, they were disconsolated. And I saw it as it were a beautiful fountain filled with waters of life, light and blessings. And suddenly the Lord said, if they will retreat and redesire my presence and walk with that which I give from the fountains of life, they will be again reignited, as I was conversing with the Lord in the night hour. Then I saw as it were a beautiful fountain filled with sparkling waters of life, light and blessings. Yet his own ones were running about all disoriented, searching everywhere for water, save in the fountain which he had prepared for them. They were going everywhere, but not to locate the fountain. In their desperate hunt for water, they avoided and even refused to draw near unto the place of the fountain. Although they cried out desperately unto him and repented, yet he did not answer them or help them at all. Nevertheless, I saw that he was with them. All the while he was carefully watching them and continually offering unto them the waters of the fountain. I do not help them, he said, because I have already told them what to do. The original eventually they shall become so desperate that they shall surrender and draw near to partake of the water of the fountain that I have already given them. And I looked again, I saw they have arrived, but they have to enter the city by the immigration. They would have to enter the city by the custom, by all the legal gatekeepers of that city. And I looked, there was 5 of them, and amongst that 5 was, I stood beside the immigration officer, the angel of the Lord, who was an immigration officer. And while I looked, he said, look carefully. I looked. He said, watch. And I saw this beautiful, amazing 5 people walking in with joy, with their passports and all their visas and all the documents that would give them access into that city. And as they were walking towards the immigration officer who was to stamp them in, and I walked, he said, watch, they were a group of 5. And then suddenly I saw the first person hand over his passport and was stamped in, the second stamped in, the third stamped in, the fourth stamped in, the 5th was withheld. I said, watch. And then while I looked, I saw a red flag beamed on the screen. And the young man thought that it was but a minor situation. The rest of the 4 had gone in just behind the officer, waiting for little corrections or whatever that is needed. Unfortunately, the officer stood up, looked at him with joy, with kindness, with not with sadness, just told him, you cannot go in. You cannot go in. Unfortunately, you will not go in. Then his luggage was given back to him. He was asked to depart. And as I looked again, the Lord said, so shall it be to many in that day. If they do not listen to my instructions now, for that which I say to them is their entrance into that golden city. But their visa to board the plane, the documents to arrive at the gate of the city is that which my son has done. But their entrance is that which they have listened to my spirit will do. It's my spirit, my word, that which I have spoken to them to do, says the Lord. For the place of your brokenness is the place that generates the most precious ointments for healing of nations. For I have but a deep void yet to be filled, because I've allowed you to go through broken moments, and that the more broken you are before me, the more my heart is drawn to you. I will remove some people from you myself. It is not that these people are evil, but it will remove for the moment for your recovery. For my house is holy. My house is holy. but it's a mixture of different species that don't belong to me. And for that, many of my genuine sons and daughters have stumbled. For that which I'm about to do will bring about the judgment of separation through my holy anger and righteousness. It will come swiftly, speedily, and they that are mine will be known. For they who have the seal of my spirit shall be brought into the place of intimacy and covering, preservation, and security of my divine insurance. For I am he, I am yet to show the world that I am the God, the Creator, all powerful, and nothing is too hard for me, says the Lord. I will close some doors, but I will open other doors. I'll close doors and I'll open another. I'm talking to you, my daughter, my son. I'm talking to you. I am the Lord. I'm going to close some doors and I'll open other doors. For the river will flow. It will flow to the direction that has received it before and are willing to receive it again. The river will flow. The river will flow. The river will flow. The river will flow. The river will flow, says the Lord. The river will flow, says the Lord. And I will heal. I will heal you one more time. I will heal you one more time, says the Lord. You are watching tonight. Watch. A visitation is coming. You're praying for a visitation? Yes. I was the one who ignited the desire of your prayer. I have loaded into your spirit that desire. Not you. I did it. Because I wanted you to pray in the direction that I might answer you. You prayed what I've put in your heart. Because I want to answer it. Firstly, I deposited that desire in your heart. And for you have opened your mouth and began to pray and desire my will. For I will bring about multiple visitations that will show you the deep things of my will, the deep things of my spirit, says the Lord. As I stood still, just watching the vision, it was like a race. You know, a race where I'm not sure what type of race it is, but you know that race that you pass the bottle? Okay. And I saw in the vision right now. It's an interesting vision I saw, and the voice of the Lord spoke clearly. As I was watching, I saw the year 2,000 years ago. I saw 2,000 years ago appear, and then I watched. I saw the year, the season when the church was incepted. And of course, Paul and Apostle, Paul and Peter and Co, they were all part of the first folks who began the race. And I saw them handed over to another generation. And when I looked, I couldn't see the end when it started. It was such a long queue of people running the race. So I saw different sections and different bridges where they handed over, like a break, they handed over. It's a beautiful vision. As I was looking, then I saw generations hand over to the other. And as I was looking, God said, just watch. I started looking. So there were several handing over of the race. We're running. They made it better. Each generation made it better and handed it over to the other. Each generation ran closer to the prize and handed it over to the next generation. As I was watching, then I saw, suddenly my eyes narrowed. I saw another crowd. So he wrote there and said, this is this generation. And it says, this is the final generation. So it says, there is no handing over. We will run to the end of the race and win the prize. So that's why it's going to be tougher. 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 It's going to be very tough. Because you were the final generation that will win the prize. Don't lose the prize. Says the Lord. For our redemption draweth nearer. I said again, may you not be found in compromise. Please, may you not be found in compromise. Don't quit the race. Run. You are the final generation that will win the race that Apostle Paul began many years ago. Peter, the early church, Country Cuban, T.L. Osborne, all of these men, they passed on the battle. Maris Moron, all of them. Let's run with grace, with fierceness of spirit, with determination to get to the day of the Lord.
Watch out. Pastor John might be coming to your country soon. Here are some of the upcoming international conferences in 2000.